National Seminar, Quest Lecture Series 8, proudly presented by the International Program of Accounting, IPAC, and the Master of Accounting Program, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Today, we are truly honored to welcome our distinguished guest speaker, Ms. Thanida Uthayapong, Ph.D. from Konkan University, Thailand, who will be presenting a lecture entitled Building Integrity and Accountability, Foundations of Professional Ethics and Corporate Governance. I hope everyone is ready as we are about to begin. Before we start, please allow me to share a few reminders. Kindly mute your microphone during the session. Please turn on your camera and don't forget to rename your Zoom display name to your full name as this will be used for your e-certificate. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Ms. Thanida Uthayapong, Ph.D. from Konkan University, Thailand. The Honorable Ms. Penny Nugraheni, SAMSc, Ph.D. AKCA, as the head of the Master of Accounting Program, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, and also today's moderator. All honorable lecturers, students, and participants who have joined today's international seminar. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. All praise to be Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His grace and blessings, allowing us to gather here in good health and high spirits. May peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who has brought us from darkness to light through knowledge and faith. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aisy Regina Preita, and I will serve as your Master of Ceremonies for today's event. Here are the agendas for today. So the first agenda is opening. The second agenda is quest lecture session. The third agenda is question and answer session. The fourth agenda is photo session. And the last agenda is closing. Let's begin with the first agenda, which is the opening. To start this event, please blessings, let us recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now let us proceed to the guest lecture session on the topic Building Integrity and Accountability, Foundation of Professional Ethics and Corporate Governance, delivered by Ms. Thanida Uthayapong from Konkan University and by our honorable moderator, Ms. Penny Nugrahi, head of the Master of Accounting Program at Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Ms. Penny Nugraheni, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Aisy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, student, all participant. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Today, on behalf of the International Program of Accounting, IPAC, and also collaboration with the Master of Accounting Program, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, it is my great honor to welcome you all to our international seminar guest lecture. And today we have reached the 8th session of our guest lecture series. And also we have the privilege of exploring the important topic into this professional and corporate landscape with the title or today's guest lecture, Building Integrity and Accountability, Foundation of Professional Ethics and Corporate Governance. So this topic also become of our subject in accounting program in UMY because in today's rapidly evolving global economic, the profession, particularly accounting profession, serve as the backbone of trust, transparency, and also sustainable development. So accountant and financial profession are not just calculating the number, but also they are we can say the guardian of integrity who ensure the accountability and also can uphold the ethical standard that underpin public confidence in institution. So we believe that professional ethic and good corporate governance are inseparable from this mission because ethic will guide our decision and also embedding principle like honesty, objectivity, and social responsibility into every our action. Meanwhile, the strong corporate governance framework become as our guidance, yeah, as a compass steering organization toward fairness, accountability, and long-term value creation for all stakeholder. Yeah, so today we will discuss further about this topic and with us now, Dr. Thanida Uthayapong from Konkan University, Thailand. So once again, Doctor, welcome to UMY. Actually, we hope that you are physically visit us. Yeah. Yeah, so but we are truly delighted, yeah, to have you with us at the event. For your information, actually, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta and also Konkan University have enjoyed a long-standing collaboration. And like we have discussed before, yeah, I remember you have joined our international program, our international conference, yeah, Doctor. Yeah. So yeah, Alhamdulillah today we are able to bring this case lecture together. Okay, so before we start, I will introduce you with Dr. Thanida. Yeah, Dr. Thanida Uthayapong. She is lecturer in accountancy from Konkan Business School, Konkan University. She got her PhD in accounting from Massey University from New Zealand, and also got in the same university, ya dokter ya, a postgraduate diploma in accountancy. Okay, and also her master in Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok, Thailand, and currently, yeah, Dr. Thanida is Associate Dean for Strategy and Finance, Konkan Business School, Konkan University. Okay, so I think like I mentioned before, how then we know about we learn about the professional ethic and what is the relationship maybe the corporate governance. We will listen the presentation from Dr. Thanida Uthayapong. Doctor, okay, time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Pani
Yeah.
and MC as well. I'm very happy and really enjoy to be here again. As we know, we have like very long time of the friendship, and we has exchange like to collaboration, not just only in terms of the spatial lecture as here. I went there once, like maybe 2012, 22, something like that. It's about 22 or 23.
Yeah.
It's for the conference, and I hope to be back again. Thank you to invited me to be here. So, shall I start for the slide? Okay. Okay, so today our topic, I mean, this is in the highlight of the many countries, many areas around the world, and is also in my interesting in this area. Before I've done my PhD at Massey University in New Zealand, and my topic is about the audit quality. And nowadays we know just only audit quality is not enough to build this world to be like the higher standards, or we concern more than that. And one is the many country around the world has shed a light is about the integrity and accountability. And also we talking about the professional ethics and the corporate governance. So for today, I think for our topic that can building the sustainable and responsible organization. And of course, when the organization has been strong in terms of the governance that can establish and encourage for the strong economic system and that can build the country or the world to be better. Well, for today, my presentation will starting with why this matter and now more than ever. And then I will move to the definition of our term. What is the professional ethics and what is the corporate governance? And after that, we're gonna link the core connection of the how ethics from the bedrock of the governance. Then we're gonna move to the key players and responsibilities. Who is the responsible? The building of the framework about like the practical steps for the implementation will be discussed later on. And I will end up with the case study when the government fails. I think for like 2 or 3 years ago, they have like a very strong case that impact most of the country that link. For example, like German, UK, and the US that impact for that case. So we're gonna briefly talking about that case, right? I'm very happy if you guys have the question after my presentation. Please don't hesitate to ask me at that time. Okay, so we're gonna start with why that is very important. Of course, the governance is might be like the key things that should be concerned by the government, not just only the government. I mean the private sector. Why? The question is why? Because when you have faced with the situation that shake your trust and your reputation, because your trust and your reputation is most valuable and it's easy to be break. But if you have some point about the corporate governance, for example, your company has a flaw, or you have like a doubt, cast a doubt from the community that you are not straightforward in providing the product or the service, so that can impact to the trust and your reputation. And of course, it's gonna be the long-term impact for the firm performance. And next, the ethical company often outperform from their peer long term. Of course, many companies, I mean the private company around the world, most of them had long standing for more than 100 years. Some of us, I mean, in terms of this startup, they're just looking for that long legend to be like the company that do the business for many more than 20 years, 30 years. And one of the key thing is not only they got the profit on their business, they keep on the ethics that they provide a very good product. They provide a very good ethics to their customer, to their business partner. And next, when the company has the good reputation, so they can attain the top talent of the worker. For example, like the top 10 of the CEO would like to be a part of that legion. And the part of that legion can make them more strong reputation in personal. So that is when they are be a part of that businesses, so they will build more ethical culture to the company, and of course they can long lasting for running their business. However, when there are some kind of like, okay, the company that has long lasting in terms of running the business, they also have the risk. And one of that risk that we already mentioned is about the ethical risk. And the thing is like the most of the top talent, the director or the CEO should have the strong governance to eliminate or delete or reduce the risk that can happen and uncertain their business. And of course, when we're talking about some ethics,
What the fuck?
when we do the most base of our part that can prevent the costly in terms of the legal and the regulatory issue. If you be honest with your customer, you provide a very good product or service. So they will got like the encouraging from the customer. Another way around, when you do the bad thing to your customer or you not honest for your service to the customer, so it might cause you to get like the sue or some claim of the customer in terms of the legals and the regulatory issues. And the last one, when we're talking that we would like to be the long lasting, the very important thing is about the capital and the investment from the investor. And nowadays, because we can't deny that we are already about the global citizen, and most of the investor would like to invest to the company, and they must looking for a company that have the good reputation, not just only for the profit and what the company done to the world. If we have like the very good size or we have the good reputation and we gain a lot of trust from the customers, so the stakeholder, not just only the investor, I link to like the partner, the business partner, the suppliers or the accounts receivable will trust in us, and then we have more confidence from the investor and customer to the employee to the community who working with us. That's why that is very important when we're talking about the corporate governance and the ethics. Okay, let's move to the professional ethics. What is the professional ethics? Of course, when we're talking about the working as the accountant, professional accountant, the professional ethic is referred to the moral code of conduct. What is the code of conduct? The code of conduct is the guideline that guide the professional what they should do, what they shouldn't do. For example, if you're working, you should working in terms of like not be a part of that conflict of interest. That is the thing that required by the code of the conduct. And the professional have to do that duty to support the decision making process. So do the duty and get some like the outcome. What is the outcome of the professional accountant? So sometimes we refer to the financial statement, sometimes we refer to the auditor opinions, and most of time we refer to the financial reporting. When we use the word of reporting, doesn't mean just only for the external user. We also talking about the internal user. And the internal user will, when they get the financial reporting or the information, they would like to use that to support their decision making, to make the better company, to make the better economic decision making, and will get more profit and get more the gain on their working. And when they're working in that good culture, so that can support each other and make the good decisions to the business. Well, that is the definitions. And the significant things in the professional like the accounting and auditing. Ethics ensure the creditabilities. What is the creditability? Sometimes I usually use the easy word is about the trust. When someone trusts in you, maybe they just rely on what is your information that you would like to convey to the outside or the user. So the creditability is very important, especially for the accountants or an auditor. when working with the private sector or even with the listed company. Reliabilities. Reliability is quite direct link to the information that the auditor and accountant would like to convey to the user, that can rely on that information, rely on that details, relies on the notes to financial statement, and that is impact to the public confidence. Let's think about the case that on the principle, the conviction that is a right way to act when faced with the ethical dilemma. What is the ethical dilemmas? That it is the situation that can take your ethical in your mind. For example, if some company just ask you to buy the thing from them and you will get more gift, or you can get the discount, but the discount is go directly to your bank account. That we call the ethical dilemma. And it usually happen in the business. However, the person who have the high integrity will refuse that and do as the policy of the company. That's why we're talking that the integrity, that is the right way to act based on the integrity. Okay, let's a little bit go back to 1995. Integrity is the fundamental threat of the character that enable the CPA, that especially mean to an auditor and including an accountant, to withstand the client and the competitive pressure that might otherwise lead to subordination of the judgment. What kind of the pressure that take our ethical? Let's say, if you are an auditor or the person who work for another company, and at that time they just asking you or force you that if you not follow for their requirement, they will not allow you to work with them again. What does it mean? It means for the next time, I cannot certain to my return. Okay, I don't get the money, I don't get another job, and they might tell to other friends that I am not the person who followed them. That we call the pressure. And the pressure can be in any form. Sometimes the customer asks you to do something. Sometimes the suppliers ask you to buy that a little bit higher price, and they will return you directly into your account. That is for example. So the person who has the higher integrity, so they will deny that. They will keep on the right things. And when they keep on the right things, so it means they in the wrong line, they will he or she will certain in the high standard of the job and high standard of the work that they would like to do. However, that is just only two example about the company that is in the public interest. In terms of the word public in interest, in the easy word, I'm usually use the words of the listed company. And the listed company, of course, we know we have like a huge of the stakeholder, not just only for the stockholders. We also include the financial institution. We also include for the employee, the accounts receivable, accounts payable, suppliers, social, community, even though the investor that would like to invest into that company. So that's why the public interest very, very important when we're talking about working for them. Regulation of the accounting profession when working on the public interest in accounting. First, The professional itself, in that word, we define as the knowledge. It means you have the knowledge strong enough to provide them the service, to provide them the advice or the consulting. The knowledge is mean you can show that you are professional enough. Let's say you are accountant or you are an auditor, and in that case, you should have like the very good in accounting or very good in auditing. Next, I'm talking about skills. Skills, including the skill in terms of the service, the skills in terms of the communication, the skill in terms of the writing, all the skills that can link to the customer. And for my opinion, professional will show the best attitude. For example, you have to respect each other. You have to carry your positive attitude when you are going to work, especially when you are going to work as the accounting.
Ya Allah, nih somai, somai. Tapi kok mati lampu? Somai nih.
I'm sorry
Yes.
the interruption.
Dr.
Please for
Thanida.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Boleh nggak?
actually, UMY now we have electricity problem.
Okay.
So
Waduh.
you are become the host of this
Ah,
meeting.
Bisa bahasa
Can
Inggris.
you also
Buat
make
apa?
us as a
Untungnya.
co-host?
Bukan.
Make
Apa?
us
you
yeah, me
Oh,
for
buat
example, I take
ini.
as a co-host because maybe
Buat
we
apa?
need to then mute the participant.
Buat KD.
yes.
Tapi ini aku
Well,
kayak
you can mute the microphone, I think.
Yang nungguin. Aku aja bisa nih.
So I'm sorry, please for Rahmat Fajar Ramdhani, please mute your microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. You can continue.
Okay. Well, I just not quite sure when just someone just talking, so you might lost some my lecture. That's okay. That's fine. If that not too loud, I will continue that. Well, let's go back to our attitude. When we're talking about the attitude, it means you should have the positive attitude rather than you going like the negative one. And when you go to see most of like the people and looking for the collaboration, it's impossible to get that. But when you are going to like the good attitude, for example, in terms of the positive one, it means you would like to help them.
I'm sorry for the interruption again. Please for Indah Mahasari and Aruba Nadem, can you please mute your microphone? Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. And the behavior that we just looking for the professional one, so you should have like the open mindset, and you don't just like they make decision that they are good or bad. You just go to seek fact. That is the point of the behavior. I might use the word the seek fact. And you shouldn't have any bias when you are going to work, because the bias will destroy or eliminate your professional things. And the highlighting things, and the last one is about the ethicals, and those should have as the qualification of the professional. The regulation of the profession is specific for a response to need for the certain standards. And we're gonna discuss later on what is a certain standard to make us to be the professional and to make the member of the profession. And the last one, when we're talking about the accounting profession, will provide the important public service throughout the audit and the other assurance service. And who should join the community play to act in the public interest. The public interest is what is they expect in you. Of course, they expect the knowledge, the skills, the attitude, behavior, and also your ethics. Well, we're gonna discuss about the certain standards. What is the standard that we are looking for in terms of international? We call that the fundamental ethical principle that is released by the IESBA that we call Code of Ethics. The new version is on the 2025. The 2025, that is the new release. And that is the thing that they should concern when you would like to working as international things. However, there has like the big guideline of the accounting profession. However, there are five key principles that all of the people in this area, in this community, have to follow by it. Well, the first one, we're talking about the integrity. If you still remember just the past two slides, I highlighted on all the things when we're talking about the professional ethics, the integrity should be number one. What is the integrity means? It means be straightforward and honest in all professional relationships. When we talking the word of professional relationship, it can be happen like this. Because you work with this company for a long time, you feel like this is your family, and you think the family will face the very challenging situation. The financial statement will go bad for this economic situation. So you try to help. And when you help, it means your relationship is too close. And when you help, it means you are not followed by the integrity. You have to work with them by your integrity, straightforward, and be honest. If the performance is not that good, you show that it's not that good, but they still have a sign to be better in the future, but based on the fact. The next one, you really need to avoid the associate with false or misleading information, especially in the taxations. However, I know in terms of auditing, it is not our responsible to talking about the taxations. However, in terms of the accounting, taxation is one of our responsible. So if you found something fails or is not go with the truth, you have to mention that to your boss, to the company, that they are going to do something misleading. However, if you cannot deal with it, you have to quit. in terms of IESBA, it means you have to quit for that job or that responsible, or you have to quit from that company if that is really important or very big issue about that. That is the first principle. The second principle, we're talking about the objectivity. What is the objectivity? What the objectivity means avoid the bias, conflict of interest, or undue influence. What is the bias? As I said, you quite close to the customer and you work with them for a long time. And you think this close is secure for your job. So sometimes you found that the company of your client do the thing is not that good and you forgive them. And you
I'm so
just,
sorry, Dr. Thanida. Can you
yes,
please make the Magister Akuntansi or me as your co-host?
co-host, yes.
Yes. Can you please make me the co-host or the Magister Akuntansi for the co-host because there's the electricity problem, so the host is you right now.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah, yes. Let's see, how could I do that?
So you can see the participant and then you can click on my name and there is a 3 dots on the
I
right side.
actually I don't have that 3 point
Oh,
after
you
your
don't
name.
have?
Yes, I'm wondering that why as well. We'll see. Could I do that?
Okay, wait. Let me figure it out.
Okay. Oh, maybe because I'm sharing.
Oh, so
Because
please, yeah, I think
okay.
the
I
reason.
uh mm, okay. And I just like here and I put you and I make okay. I see. You
Okay,
be
okay,
the
okay.
co-host,
Yes,
okay?
yes, I'll be co-host.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. I'm
No
sorry for
worries.
interrupting.
All right. Sorry for or of the participant. Okay, let's go back to our slides.
Okay.
Okay. So far, we are going to do like the bias. Just a moment, we're talking about the bias. The bias is can be because you're too close. I mean, too close to the clients, or you are very royalty to the company. In that time, you just like you really need them to be good, the financial statement to be beautiful. So that is the mean you are biased as well. How about the conflict of interest? Of course, when I'm talking about a conflict of interest, it mean you are the one that make the company is very nicer and you get the benefit from your actions. For example, like you can scale your job. You are the one that can get the hire from that company, or you get some directly go to your bank account. That's also conflict of interest. And we also have another one that as undue influence. For example, the customer force you to do something for them. That is the point of the undue influence, and you have to be objectivity on that. if you found that you are under pressure, you are on the conflict of interest, and you are on the bias, so it means you have to deny or refuse to follow them the requirement. Third one, professional competence and due care. It means you have to maintain and apply professional knowledge and skills diligently. Of course, in every year we has like the improvement of the change, I would say, or updated of like the financial statement standards, or we call the IFRS. So in terms of that, even you are an accounting or auditing, or you are the in the business school, if you don't know exactly what it is, but you should know it's already updated in every year to update the knowledge for you. And about the skills, for example, like the intelligent, the automate intelligent, or you use AI as the one tools to provide like the accounting entity, or you can scan one the document to the system, and it automatically post to GL and make you prepare you the financial statement. So it's also the skill. And as you are the one of the business area, you have to update yourself with the AI, with like the technology that can help you to be more efficiency, effectiveness, and what is can help you. That is one of the professional competence. Another one, that is confidentiality. What is the confidentiality? Respect to the confidentiality of the information acquired by professionally. It means when you are going to work for the company, or you're working for the clients and you know something, so please keep that information as a secret. You can use that only for work, not only for other things that can make you richer. For example, you get the information from the company that you know that is like the private things, and you use that as information to buy the stock in the market. So that is not the good things. And the next one, that is do not disclose without the proper authority unless the legally obligate. It means if you would like to be the one who provide the fact to the court, so you can do that when you're going to the court. However, you cannot use that. You have to ask for the allowance, for ask them to allow you to use that information. And the last but not least, we're talking about the professional behavior. What is the professional behavior? First of all, you have to comply with the laws and the regulations, and avoid any conduct that discredits of the professional. That is talking about the professional ethics in terms of the IESBA Code of Ethics in 2025. Okay, let's move to the next one. After we discuss about what is the professional ethics, the next topic that is very important, that is what is the corporate governance. We know a lot of them company around the world. I don't mention that is for the like the first tier country, the second tier country. I would say that around the world, we are consider about the governance of the company. What is the corporate governance? It means a set of relationship between the company management, board, and the shareholders and the stakeholder. What is a set of the relationship? It means they work together. when they work together. So we are looking for the honest thing from the company. Who is manage or direct the company, that we call board or the board of director. And the board of director is vary in each country. Some country, let's say in Thailand, we also ask at least 5 people to 12 people to be a member board of directors. In some country, ask for like only 3 people. Let's say the top tier market, they may ask like 10 people. However, when we are going to the board member, that should follow with the law and regulations. And the board of director will let or order to management, including the CEO, to follow by the requirement. As you might see here, that is the relationship among these 3 of the relationship that will say the shareholders, or this one can be the stakeholder. And this is the board of the management, or the board of like including CEO, or we call the C level. And the supervisory board that include the board of director. In terms of the board of director, so they also have like the AC that we call the audit committee. To work as like the monitoring functions to the C level, and the C level, I would say here, working respect for the board and working and report to the shareholders and stakeholders to the annual report. Well, when we are going a little bit to see the structure and the system, here is the structure and the system. When we're talking about the relationship among these 3 kind of the party, of course, the shareholder is the one who is very important. And then we go for like the board of director, and we also have the chairman. Sometimes we have the chairman, some company, they use the chairman as the CEO. And then we also have over here that we call the C level. So we have Chief Operation Officer, Chief Executive Officer, and Chief Financial Officer. However, if you are the company that are very good in technology, sometimes you might have like Chief Information Officer, or maybe just like Chief Information System Officer that can be included in the C level. Why we talking about a set of relationship that is very important? Because in this set, we're talking about how to balance between check and balance. Of course, stakeholders or shareholders order to the board to ask the CEO to work for them. And the board will report to the C level will report to the board and also report to the shareholders, that we call check and balance. The governance itself, it means when someone do something, we have another one to monitor, to direct, to evaluate. That is the point of the governance. Over here, when we talk about the corporate governance, we're talking about the system of the rules, practice, and the process by which company is direct and control. The word directed and control, that means check and balance. Next, the four pillars of the governance. Of course, the first one, the company should have the accountability. What is the accountability? The accountability is to ensure that the management is accountable to the board and board is accountable to the shareholders. As you still remember about the relationship, so accountable or accountabilities mean you have to be respond to your duty, to your team, to your shareholders. Next, we're talking about the fairness. Fairness is detecting shareholder rights and ensuring the equitable treatment for all stakeholders. It means even though you hold the shareholders just only 1 or 2%, you would like to get more care, similar to the person who take like 80%. The word that I said about the take more care is mean not just only like take care as a children. It's care about like you will get the information of the company in the same time, not just like the company told the majority or the major shareholders first, and then you are the last one to know that. It's not the fairness thing. Next, we're talking about transparency. As Professor Pani said, the transparency become the hot issue around the world. And when we're talking the corporate governance, the transparency is the most important one that we're talking about. We're talking about the disclosing on timely, the accurate information. What is the accurate information means? It means it has the material matter. What is important and the important is already announced to the people that work with the company or the people or the shareholders not just only the majority of the shareholders, including the financial situation and performance. It means if you are not in the good situation of the financial situation and performance, please report to the shareholders and stakeholders. However, one position that relating to transparency is about accounting, because accounting is the one who prepare to the financial statement, and the financial statement will reflect to the situation and the performance of the company. That's why for accountant or in the business term, we are quite very important that link to one part of the governance, the corporate governance. And the last one, we're talking about the responsibility. Okay, some of you guys may ask, what is the difference for the responsibility and the accountability? The accountability, it is more than responsible, because the responsible that you just follow for the legal, the ethical or the social obligations of the organization. It means you just follow the rules. We use the words responsibility. But when we're talking about the accountabilities, it means it is beyond that. You not just only do your job, but you have to taking care about like what is the point that your job can affect. Not just only for the work, it's for the responsible It's for the society. It's for like a lot of things more than that. You're not just only concerned for your job, you care about the stakeholder. That is the accountability. But responsibility is just only the job. When we're talking about like the accountability, the transparency, fairness, and the responsibility, one of those principle, or sometimes we call the guideline, that the company around the world will accept that as the guideline and try to follow that. That we call the OECD principle of the corporate governance. However, the version so far is in 2023. And in that version, they continually improve and updated to consider with nowadays situation. And before we are going to that point, we're gonna discuss about what is the principle or the OECD principle of the corporate governance. Well, it's talking about the principle that are intended to help the policymaker evaluate and improve the legal, regulatory, and the institutional framework for the corporate governance to the market. What kind of the policymaker? Sometimes it means to the government. Sometimes it's talking about the accounting community in that country. Sometimes talking about the listed company who can develop their policy to improve like the legal, the regulatory, and the framework that affect to the high corporate governance. And we use the OECD as a supporting idea. Next, we're talking about like the OECD can support the economic efficiency, the sustainable growth, and the financial stability. Of course, this is the requirement of the country, and this is the requirement of the private sector. And the economic efficiency, it is the outcome of the sustainable growth of the market and the financial stability of each company. Well, OECD principle is the primary achieved by the shareholder, board members, and the executive workforce and the stakeholders, as well as the financial intermediary and the service provider, with allied informations and the incentive to perform their roles and help to ensure the accountability within the framework of the check and balance. Well, for OECD principle, I wouldn't go very details about that. I going to talking about the big topic of those that cover all of the area and the short brief of the explanation. There are 6 OECD principles of the corporate governance revising in the 2023. The first principle that talking about the ensure basic for an effective corporate governance framework. It means OECD would like to make sure in any country of or any of the listed market have the proper laws and regulations to improve the quality of the market. The second one, we're talking about the rights and the equitable treatments for the shareholders and the key ownership function. However, when we're talking about the shareholder, we're talking in both ways, majority and minority. All of them are treated to be equitable treatment, and the rights of those two are in the same level. What is the key ownership function? Sometimes we have like the important person in the company, but they didn't hold any shares of the company, and but they have like the voting rights. We include that in the functions. Third, OECD concerned about the institutional investor, stock market, and other intermediately. Let's say the financial institute, let's say like the broker that act their role as the institutional investor. Fourth, we're talking about the disclosure and transparency. Well, when we're talking about the disclosure and transparency, normally the private sector will have like the annual report. Before I go into lecture this course, I'm going to check. I was check the annual report of Gojek, and like the performance for this year is very interesting. Even though the economic around the world is just like a little bit plummet in some area, especially in Thailand, we don't have like the very good of economic situation. However, Gojek still working in their track. That is very interesting. Another thing is because we know we has we have a lot of the EV car and the machine that use like electricity. However, the company that about oil and gas still have like the very nice profit. That is the thing that OECD try to endorse those company to disclose the fact of the performance and try to keep that as the more information to make more transparency. Fifth is responsible of the board. Of course, when we just a little bit go back to the relationship between board management and shareholders or stakeholders. So well, we can share like the responsible of board to the CEO, to CFO or management team, and board also have to respond to the shareholders and the stakeholders as well. And the last one, last but not least, OECD really highlighted on the sustainable and also about the resilience. For example, when we just a little bit go back during the time of the COVID-19, huge of the company is already gone, right? It's already just like disappear from the market. When we're talking about the sustainable, it means you should have like concern about like the climate change, the environmental is about like working or doing the business with the concern about this planet. However, when we talk about the resilience, it means you have to concern about the situation that you not expect that before, and you have to recover as fast as you can. Recover from that situation, like the earthquake, the pandemic, or the situation about like the uncertain during your and your neighbor of the country, something like that. Well, now we gonna pack together.
Dr. Thanida.
Yes.
Yeah, you have 10 minutes remaining for your presentation.
Okay, no worries. I will wrap up about that.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the professional ethics and the corporate governance. Of course, the code of the conduct is this about like the governance too. And acting integrity is the ethical choice that we already discussed. The financial audit is the governance process, and being transparency and honest is about the ethic of the professional ethics. But oversee, of course, is a requirement of the OECD and the requirement of the listed company, the listed market around the world, and it be the governance structure, and the objectivity decision making is made by the board is the ethical requirement. And this is the point. You cannot have the sustainable good governance without the foundation of the strong ethics. That is quite the strong link between the ethics and the good corporate governance. Who is the key player on the responsibility? We're talking about the board of the directors. We're talking about the tone at the top. The board of director is the one of the important relationship. Next, we're talking about the executive management. And the executive management has the foster the ethical culture. That is the very key roles of the middle person between the board of directors and the shareholders, and the responsible to the accurate reporting. Of course, the employee as a part of the company, not just only the accountant or an auditor. So everyone have to act with integrity in daily task to eliminate for the how could I say the fraud and the creative accounting. And also when you do something that's integrity, so you can eliminate for the conflict of interest for your job. Last, we're talking about the shareholder and the stakeholder. So to hold the board accountable, you can check, as I said, is on the function of the check and balance. This is
Iya ya.
Email soalnya.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Thanida. Is there any problem?
yeah. Do you hear my voice? I mean, so far, because I think I'm lost like I lost like my presentation.
No,
Is
we
Yes,
can hear your voice.
okay.
yes. The PPT is lost, but we still can hear your voice.
All right. So I really need to catch up. That's a bit in the time. Okay. So far, I found a little bit like the question that is why the integrity very important for our life, because when you do the integrity things, you have to develop like the document that is the code of the conduct, that is to guideline what the employee would like to do as the expectation. And then you should establish to the whistleblowing policy. It means like if you found someone have the conflict of interest, you can share to the supervisor, or you can share to the board of director. Try to eliminate it, the fraud or the conflict of interest that can destroy the company or the market. And then we conduct about the training. So it means like you have to make the awareness of the people that around the company to like the training course. Lead by example is very important. It means you have to prepare for um, the board of director should act as the example. If you're really concerned about the floor, so you should show the floor that you really concerned, or you don't want to have like the conflict of interest. So you have to establish the requirement, the regulations that eliminate for the conflict of interest. And the last one, that monitoring and audit. That would be great if you have the audit periodically. So it's not just the end of the year. Sometimes it's just like in every half year or every 3 months. Or sometimes you can create that as a surprise of the audit to make sure everyone follow by the code of the conduct and the code of the ethics. And this is the case of like the major one that can happen a few years ago. If you guys had heard about the white card that is from the Germans, and the thing is like they are in supporting like the fintech star, and then they are going to bankrupt in 2022, and that is disappear. I mean, just like the government got the governance failure, it means the board is ineffectiveness, and the external auditor Ernst and Young at that time, and so far it can be like EY is neglectless about the fraud, and they have like the regulators failures, and also like the internal control is also fails. That is in terms of the governance failure. How about the ethical failures? Of course, the lack of or absence of the leadership integrity of about the CEO, and the culture of the deception of the robbers. I mean, just like would everyone would like to have the beneficial range of the professional objectivity, and the last one that is the wide space of the complicity. It means everyone try to get the beneficial. And the result, of course, the financial collapse, the legal and criminal that is ramifications, the regulatory is overhauled. And the last one that is the damage to the market of like the German market, and that check about the trust in the German system. Okay, so that is the oral of my presentation today. That is a key takeaway. So you guys can go and like wrap up that again.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thanida, for the
Yes.
insightful presentation. Yeah, so student, participant, and also actually we have some accounting lecturer here, Doctor,
Yes.
that join in this what is guest lecture. So participant, actually we have listen, yeah, and also learn that Dr. Thanida have mentioned in the first slide that actually the implementation of ethics
Yes.
will give impact, yeah, to the company, and also actually for professional, when we talk about the ethics, actually it can will guide us then to determine what is right and what is wrong. So we maybe it can solve, yeah, when we are in the we call ethical dilemma, yeah, Doctor, yeah, ethical dilemma, and also some ethical principle also, and the principle in corporate governance also have been explained by Dr. Thanida, and I think you still have many questions, yeah, about this discussion. So actually, we have the first question in chat room, Dr. Thanida. Before we give the opportunity for you,
Yes.
participant, if you want ask directly, yeah, to Dr. Thanida, you can raise your hand. But I will read the question from Mas Ferry Pradi, yeah, from Pasca. And the first question, he has two questions. The first question, how important is integrity in our life? Okay. And then the second question, how to apply the principle of integrity when facing pressure to manipulate information in a professional report. Okay,
Yes.
maybe you can directly answer for this question,
Yes.
Doctor.
Okay. Thank you for the question. That is the interesting question. What is why the integrity very important? So it means
Yeah.
like if you do the business without the integrity, at least for your customer, it won't be long when you're running the business. Because we are looking for something very certain, something very long time. And if we don't give the integrity to the customer at least, or your employee or the colleagues, so it's impossible to have the long-term running of the company. Because if you don't say anything in fact, so the customer will run away from you, and when you run away from you, so it cannot be long lasting. That is the point. That's why the integrity is very important in terms of the business. So in terms of the life, you have to gain trust from other. The trust is very important, because when you say some things and you found that is that person liar to you, not honest, say something in the different things, so you not trust them anymore. And when you not trust them anymore, when they ask you to help them, so you won't help them anymore. Another way around, if you are the person who not honest, so who is believe in you and who gonna help just like gain trust from the other. That is why the integrity is very important. And another one, how to apply the principle of integrity when facing the pressure. Well, that is very important things. I would say it in terms of the when we are running the business, not just only in terms of the accounting and auditing. When you are cannot bear in that pressure, the thing is like based on the theory, they asking you to avoid from that. But for my opinion, okay, you have to deal with it. You have to try to solve the situation. Why is pressure you? Because it linked to your financial. If that linked to your financial, so you have to maybe just looking for another job that not force you to do the bad things, or maybe you try to keep in the barrier. So it means you do as you have to do, not over than that, not go beyond for the integrity. That is the how to apply the integrity under the pressure situations. Any other questions?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dr. Thanida. I hope that Mas Ferry is satisfied, with the
Yes.
answer. Okay, we have the second question, Doctor, from Mas Muhammad Ridho Anugrah. In your opinion, how does local culture influence the implementation of professional ethics and corporate governance in ASEAN countries, Doctor?
Wow, that is quite fascinating about the local culture. Well, I would say even though we have like different local culture, I would say, but we trust in the good thing and the right thing. Sometimes most of the um, professor in the European country, they said because we have the different like the culture, but our instinct can distinguish between the good and the bad, right? So when we're talking about the professional or governance or the ethics, it means you do something good, not just only for yourself and for other. But that is like very important thing. Then you ask like, local culture can influence to the ethics, professional ethics. Of course, if you would like to attract the investor from um the the country, I mean the different country, you have to show that your culture or your business we have to do the business based on the ethics and based on the governance. Even though the culture we knows the good thing and we would like to attract for the investor from the another country, so that combined together is can create the implementation of the professional ethics. That is my opinion.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Thanida. Then we have, we still have many questions, Doctor, from Mbak Sinta Dewi Anggraini, still in that room. In the context of global crisis, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, how can companies maintain integrity and accountability while adapting to rapid changes? Okay, Doctor, and maybe you
Yes.
can.
Okay, I will answer this question first. Well, of course, the COVID-19 will impact our culture, I would say, but the core value of the company should maintain about the integrity and accountability of the company. Even though the COVID-19 will impact your sales, expense or other thing that link to the business thing, however, you have to keep the core value of the company. And one of the most important core value of the company is about the integrity and accountability. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And the next question from Mas Irfan Nur Iskandar. So he want to know about the role of leadership and also actually the technology. Number one, about the role of leadership in building the value of integrity and accountability. And also maybe you can give example of effective leadership.
Okay.
And number two is about how technology can be used to increase the transparency and accountability, and also maybe the challenges.
Okay. The role of leadership in building and instilling the value of integrity. Let's a little bit go back to the case because like for example, the case of the white card, it start from the leadership of the company that is CEO. He's trying to conceal something and steal the money from the company for his own benefit. That is the example of the leadership, but in the bad way. I mean, but if you would like to do something that following by the integrity and the accountability, so the leadership of the CEOs or CFOs, so they might have to show as like the communication to the colleagues and the employee, to the company, to their colleagues that are really awareness about the integrity and accountability and put that in the first role of everyone to have to follow. And he should act as that. For example, if they said they're gonna say only facting to the customer, so he or she has to showing up when they working life. So like the show that they're honest to the employee and the employee will absorb that culture to their job and they will use like the fact things or um the the real or the honesty to their customer. That is the point of the lead by the leadership. So it means like lead by example that I would say. And the second question is how about the technology be used to increase the transparency and the accountability within the organization? So what are the potential and challenge? Of course, the transparency so far we can show throughout like the annual report and the financial statement. And sometimes some company have the dashboard to show how fluctuated about the price. I see the Gojek has to do that, showing on the websites that they can show, and they can just like clicking in, and that is build the transparency of the company. And they also provide the culture about the accountability that respond to provide um, more accountability of the financial statement. However, if the company would like to do so, the technology is have the cost, and it depends for the cost that they would like to go. If they would like to have like the online real time of the information, so they might invest into the software and also the hardware, and the technology can do that. But however, nowadays it easily to access the information, and that could improve the trust and show that the company has the more integrity and accountability for the stakeholders. Yes, that is all about my answer and my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thanida. I think we still have time. Maybe anyone or any participant student want to ask question directly? Maybe just raise your hand and then mention your name and also maybe your institution if you still have question.
Okay, maybe they
Okay,
just thinking about that. Yeah.
yeah, I think, okay, so means it is clear for them, doctor. Okay, so yeah, doctor, maybe before we end this session, maybe you have the what is conclusion remark for our topic today, doctor.
Hopefully that. And if you have any other questions, I am my last slide. I provide my email. If you would like to discuss the further issue or would like to ask further question, I very willing to do that. Please email me if you want. And that's all.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Thanida. Okay, so the participant and also the lecturer, yeah. Okay, so I think thank you very much, Doctor, for the explanation. And once again, that in accounting program, so yeah, we know the importance of the ethics, yeah, for our profession, yeah, especially. So we hope that the student also can learn about this, yeah, before then they work, yeah, in the profession as a professional or in the work in the company, so they can also conduct the ethical behavior. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Thanida. I think we have reached the end of today's session. And once again, Dr. Thanida, thank you for sharing your knowledge. And of course, that we hope that this can inspire us then to reflect on the ethical foundation of our profession and also organizations. So we can give applause to Dr. Thanida. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're
Thank you very
welcome,
much.
Doctor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so to our audience, thank you for your active participation. And I will give back the session to Mbak Aisy. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, ka.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you very
Ka.
much to Dr. Thanida Uthayapong for the insightful and inspiring lecture. And thank you as well to Miss Penny Nugrahini, who has moderated the session so clearly and thoughtfully. Now we'll continue with the photo session. We kindly ask all the participants to turn on your camera so we can take a group photo together. Okay, so please everyone turn on your camera. All right, maybe we are ready right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and then once more. Maybe freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I will close this session. So, as the master of ceremony, I would like to express our sincerest apologies to Dr. Thanida and to all participants for some interruption that occurred during the event, including background noise and then technical issues caused by earlier power interruption from previous hosts. We truly appreciate your patience and understanding. Thank you very much for your attention and active participation. We hope this seminar enrich your knowledge and inspires you to implement integrity and accountability in your professional journey. See you again in the next guest lecture series. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.